HYGGE? Yes, HYGGE. HYGGE. What is it? What does it mean? And why does it not sound like it's spelled? Well, I don't know why it doesn't sound like it's spelled or why it's spelled the way it is, but I can give you a little insight on what it is. So a good friend of mine recently, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, introduced me to this idea of HYGGE. And like you, I never would have dreamed it was spelled the way it is, but I was very intrigued by its meaning. It's actually something that I believe a lot of us desire and maybe strive for in our lives, but have never really heard it called this word. That's because it's a Danish word, and it's basically cozy, a feeling of warmth and comfortable and safe. Doing simple things like lighting candles, baking, and staying home with your family. So we're going to talk a little bit about HYGGE today, but not just HYGGE, but how to achieve HYGGE with children in the home. So I was very intrigued by the idea of HYGGE as my friend told me about it, and I did a little more research on YouTube, as you can too, and looked up what is HYGGE. And there are several videos out there, of course, that explain HYGGE, and you will hear about all the cozy things that explain HYGGE. This idea of HYGGE that obviously, like I said, I think we're all familiar with coziness, you know, creating a cozy environment, that sort of thing. We've just never really heard it called HYGGE, right? Maybe you have, I don't know. I hadn't until my friend pointed this out to me. But I guess some have the idea too that there are a lot of, it's even more HYGGE if you have a lot of natural materials in the area, like wood, brick, leather, those sorts of things that create a natural cozy feel. Not just regular cozy, but natural cozy. Not all the things that I've looked at have mentioned that aspect, but some do have the idea that there is a little bit of a natural aspect added to create true HYGGE. So I've tried to create a little HYGGE here today for the video with the fire in the background. Though it's fake fire, it still gives the cozy feel, right? Some people even use the video that you can stream on your TV that has the crackling sound of the fire and the visual of the fire without actually having a real fire. Because let's face it, not all of us always have an actual fireplace, but we can still create the effect. So when I think of the idea of HYGGE, I think of a simple, clean, clutter-free area. I think of cozy blankets, maybe a fire or a candle, just a quiet, calm atmosphere. So the question I raise in my video is how to achieve that with children in the home. Because let's face it, when you have children at home, especially the younger they are, I don't know, even sometimes the teenagers, but especially younger children, it can get loud, it can get noisy, it can get cluttered for sure as they play throughout the day and they're, you know, making memories and leaving a trail as they do. But nonetheless, even with children in the home, though it may look a little different, we can, I believe, still be intentional about creating a feeling of HYGGE in our home. And I love this idea of HYGGE, of coziness. It's something that I've always loved, you know. I think that's why a lot of people love fall. We are entering a very cozy season. People love fall for the, you know, it's getting chilly, so we put on a fire, or we wear a a hoodie or, you know, cardigan and some leggings, and all of that is just very hygge or cozy. It's a cozy season, fall is. So I thought this would be a good time to do this video as we are going into a cozy season. So let's talk about some ways we can achieve hygge in our home, even though we might have children in the home who it may seem try to, let's say, make it a little difficult to achieve a cozy atmosphere, right? These are just what I came up with. There may be more ideas. If you think of more after watching this video, leave a comment below and let me know. I would love more ideas of creating hygge in my home with children present. So this is my list. Number 1, music. To me, music can really create an atmosphere, right? I don't know if you're that way. Some people are not musical or don't really listen to much music. But me and in our home, we love to use music to set the tone, right? When you're trying to clean and get a lot done, you might listen to some upbeat music that will kind of energize you and motivate you, right? But for hygge, I love to use calming music. It really sets the tone for our day. When I want to try to set a calm tone in our home during the day, maybe the kids are being a little crazy. Not that there's a problem with being crazy. They're kids. I want to let them play and be silly. But sometimes if I want to try to calm the atmosphere down, I may turn on some, you know, light jazz or piano music or acoustic guitar music. Usually instrumental, it doesn't have to be, but some calm, slow instrumental music can really do a lot to create an atmosphere. So yeah, music is really, in my opinion, a really good way, one of the best ways to create the atmosphere you want in a home, whether it is an energized atmosphere or a cozy atmosphere that you're looking for. I think music can go a long way to achieve that. So with children in the home, you can put on some light music of your choice, and especially instrumental, and just have that kind of playing in the background during the day, and it can really set that hygge tone. One of my favorites is kind of a jazz, like an instrumental jazz that is just light, relaxing sounding. That's one of my favorites for setting this tone. Number 2 is using the effect of candles or a diffuser, essential oil diffuser, or even a salt lamp. Something like that can really set a good tone for the atmosphere, to just set an ambiance, a cozy ambiance. And a lot of people think of candles when they think of hygge, and candles are great and they really do create a calming atmosphere. But since we're talking about a home with children, some may be a little leery about using candles because, you know, fire and everything. So that can be a little tricky. You know, you'd obviously have to practice care with that and making sure it's out of the kids' reach, and, you know, that they're not gonna bump it or knock it over or touch it at all. Kids and fire is not a good combination, but maybe you have a setup that's good for that. But if you don't really like the idea of having an open fire, even though it might be a small flame for a candle, if you don't like the idea of that, then there are essential oil diffusers or even a salt lamp. Now, we have done salt lamps in the past. I'd like to get another one as well. We don't currently have one, but we moved out of our previous house and left it there for, it's currently a short-term rental on Airbnb. But I would like to get another one. But another, you know, it leaves that kind of a reddish orangish glow, and that you can just leave on all the time. It's said to have some health benefits too, that it can put salt in the air. I don't know if there's anything to that claim, honestly. I haven't looked into it, but some claim that it can be healthy in the air as well. So, but I just like the looks of it, honestly. I don't know if it has health benefits or not. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, I still like the atmosphere that it creates as that warm glow. It creates kind of a hygge. And hey, it's a natural substance. It's salt. So for those who like a natural feel to their hygge, there you go. But we also really like using essential oil diffusers. So I have been a brand partner with Young Living Essential Oils for over 10 years now. So we've been using essential oil diffusers in our home for that long. And it was when I gave up on candles just before that because of, some candles can give off, like if they have an artificial scent, it can be less than healthy to breathe in the artificial scents, okay? So that combined with the fact that small children in the house, toddlers, not super comfortable with a small flame being in the house, made me a little, I don't know, leery. So I got rid of candles, which made me super sad because I loved candles and the feel that they created and the smell. But then I was introduced to essential oils and a diffuser, and sad no more. I was super excited to have an alternative. And these days, so I have a diffuser that even creates like a candle glow look. So there are different lighting effects that I can do with my diffuser, and one of them kind of does like a glow, like a candle, where it kind of comes off and on, and just kind of gives that look like a candle light does. So I can put any of my essential oils in the diffuser and set it to that candle glow, and it kind of creates the same effect as a candle, and is an awesome effect for wanting a sense of hygge, right? I love it. And I don't have to worry that we're breathing in toxins or, synthetic fragrance, because the essential oils are natural from plants. So if you want to create this feel in your home and you want to get started with oils, there is a link down below where you can create an account and get a diffuser. Message me if you need tips on the right kind of diffuser, the ones that can do the candle glow effect, because those are pretty cool. And if you need pointed in the right direction as far as what type of oil to get. But I love using a diffuser, especially with the candle glow, to set a hygge effect. Okay, so what about the thing about having a clutter-free space to create hygge? Yes, I definitely feel cozier when there's not a bunch of clutter everywhere, right? I mean, I think we all do. Clutter creates kind of an anxiety, and that's not what you want when you're wanting hygge, right? So, and that can be the trickiest one when it comes to having children in the home. But one thing we do, this is number 3, is having whole family tidy sessions, okay? We will do these throughout the day, sometimes once a day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, depending on how cluttered the home is getting, or how much fun the kids are having. So we will just stop everything and say, okay, we're gonna have a tidy session or a blitz or whatever, and I'll set the timer for 10 or 15 minutes, and I turn on some fun music, and the whole family can go to town on running around and tidying up as fast as we can. So you can work on one room at a time and just say, hey, we're gonna do 5-minute tidy session in this room, go. And you set a timer, and kids are motivated by a timer. They wanna see what all they can get done before the timer goes off. So that's a fun thing to do to kind of help create that atmosphere, the calm, clutter-free atmosphere with the children can help kind of tidy up from time to time. Not that your home has to look, magazine perfect, you know, like it's a picture out of a magazine or anything. It's not going to. There's going to be a thing or two or three or four or five out of place, but that's okay. We are tidying up and getting it the best we can to have a somewhat clutter-free space so we can feel cozy. I want to throw in a small note here to forget about perfection. If you're like me, a little bit of a perfectionist streak, you may want to strive for perfection here, especially in this area. But when you have children in the home, it's not going to be perfect. Not you can't. I don't think that you can have happy children, happy parents, a perfectly clean home, all of those things at the same time. You are going to have a couple things out of place, and that's okay. So let go of perfection, do your best, and just feel happy with it being at least somewhat clutter-free and cleaned up. So another thing I think of with HYGGE, and this can be done on a budget, and this is number 4, is just small items that just really kind of add that touch. Warm, cozy blankets like the one I'm sitting on right now. Just, you know, having them wherever throughout the room, thrown over the chairs and couch, whatever. Having them rolled up in a basket to use whenever you want a cozy blanket. Cozy blankets are so HYGGE to me. I love them. So having a couple cozy blankets in the space, having some cozy throw pillows, having, I don't know, going along with the natural feel, maybe a small decorative wooden tray with a small plant on it and a candle, even if the candle's not lit, just having the candle there for looks is kind of creating a cozy atmosphere, I guess. But these are some items you can just have in that space to kind of create that feel. Another easy one, I think of HYGGE, I think of warm drinks. So number 5 for me is some warm drinks, maybe some hot tea for the whole family. That's an easy one. Put on the tea kettle, get everyone's favorite tea out and steep some tea for the whole family. My kids, all ages, love hot tea. So we usually have a variety of flavors available for everyone, and we can just sit around with our warm tea, maybe a little spoonful of honey mixed in, and we can all sit around with our hot tea in our cozy blankets, and that's just very HYGGE to me. My last tip, number 6, is food. Baking maybe warm treats. If you do a lot of sugar or ever do treats in your home, you know, you can do that. Baking cookies and muffins and things, baking it together, and then just the smell of the baked goods, and then sitting down together with your hot tea and some muffins or something is very HYGGE and an easy thing to achieve with children in the home. Now, if you try to avoid the sweet treats, we tend to try to be a little healthier, not that they don't get the treats occasionally, but if we do bake treats, sometimes we try to bake them more on the healthy side using healthier sweeteners and things like that. And you can still do muffins and cookies and things, but make them healthier, right? So there's that option. But to me, I think it's any kind of comfort food. That can be even, you know, bacon, eggs, any type of healthy food that you can think of, especially warm foods, I think, versus cold foods. I think any kind of little warm treat, doesn't have to be sugary, but it can be, that you can really enjoy together, like a special food to eat, can create a HYGGE feel as well. So these are my 6 tips for creating HYGGE in your home, even with children present. And children can really enjoy the HYGGE feel as well, trust me. I just think that it creates a special atmosphere, and whether you call it HYGGE or not, I mean, it's a Danish term, you can just call it cozy. But whatever you call it, I think being intentional is key about this, because we can really just go about our days and just kind of lose track and let everything get messy and not really do those special things, but turning on some music, having a salt lamp or turning on a diffuser with a nice calming scent and warm glow and some cozy blankets and cozy throw pillows and some warm tea and some warm treats. All of that, being intentional, is key. And all of that can really create a great environment for your family and kind of just keep things, I don't know, inviting and cozy, obviously. But I think being intentional about those things and having that inviting atmosphere for your family can really do wonders and just make everyone, I don't know, happier, I think. So let me know down below what you think about these ideas, or if you have any more ideas of creating hygge in your home with children. And have you ever even heard of hygge? I love the idea of hygge, and now that we're into fall and we're kind of in that cozy season, I think it's a great time to discuss hygge. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thanks, have a great day.